Okay, Germany-Denmark has finished in Group C at the Women's Euros. It's finished 2-1 at Germany. Denmark were leading 1-0 at half-time. VAR has had a massive impact on this game, and I'll discuss VAR at the end. We've had a goal ruled out for offside. We've had two penalty shouts, one given, one then overturned to a free kick. Germany coming from behind, but looking not very German-like. Defensively, there are some issues with Germany, and they're not as slick and as efficient as Germany teams of past generations when they were winning, competing for World Cups and winning and dominating the Euros. Germany haven't won an international trophy for some time, and this is not the same scary Germany side that won 8 Women's Euros and were pretty good at the World Cup as well. Let's not kid ourselves. Getting to multiple World Cup finals. They can be got at, and Denmark in recent history have got a pretty decent record against Germany. Now, the game itself, VAR's had a massive impact on the game. The goal that's disallowed for Buell is correctly disallowed because there's 3 German players offside anyway when the ball is struck. And Nusken is in the goalkeeper's eye line, and there is a slight deflection of Nusken. She's in an offside position. The length of time taken to get that decision right, which is a correct decision. Now, if Nusken is onside and jumps out the way of the ball, I still don't think the goalkeeper is getting there, beaten by the pace and the accuracy of the shot. But this flusters Germany, I think is the best way to look at it. Denmark then take control of the game for about 10-15 minutes, and Vansgaard, following a run by Thompson, scores the goal, which is actually off a German counter-attack from a corner. They lose possession, Denmark counter-attack again, and driving at the Germans. The Germans are disorganised all over the place defensively. There is a lack of organisation in the German defence, which has been noted. I think Berger, the goalkeeper, who's a very good goalkeeper in the women's game, beaten low to her left on her near side post. You could argue the goalkeeper should do better, yes, but Vansgaard takes a very good shot. And it's given space because the German defence is completely disorganised, and she's left in space. Time, wrap the ball around the shot, hit it low and hard, and get it on target. That's what you need to do. If the goalkeeper makes a mistake, the goalkeeper makes a mistake. That's on 26 minutes. And then for this period, Denmark are on top. Now, the penalty for the handball shout, again VAR is involved. The referee is basically in the box and is looking at the incident. Now, the incident, when you look from behind and the aerial shots, yeah, it is outside. That should have been the first one of the replays they looked at. And the length of time to check that was too long. Ultimately, it is the right decision. It is a handball. It's outside the box. It's a free kick. But it took too long to get to that decision. Much like the disallowed goal 20 minutes before, earlier in the half. The handball, look, it is a handball. No booking either, which I find weird because could you class that as a goal scoring opportunity, or is it more of a cross? We've seen goals scored from that kind of angle, so I'm surprised there wasn't a booking for that handball, but it then wakes Germany up because they've been flustered for, at the best part of 20 minutes. They've gone a goal down. Denmark have created a lot of chances themselves and are asking questions, and the German team look like a bunch of individuals. They're having more possession and they have created more chances, and then they just stop playing. They look very rigid in attack, very mechanical, and not in an efficient way. It's very predictable what they're doing, and the Danes are playing with more energy. Now, this handball shout and the penalty shout changes the momentum of the game again, because then it is Germany besieging the Danish goal for the rest of the half. And the German goal has had to pull off some saves. The defenders are throwing themselves at every shot. They're blocking everything they can. The ball's pinballing around. Denmark get through to half-time 1-0 up. But those two VAR incidents and going goal behind sort of wakes Germany up a little bit because they've been sloppy, let's be honest. Now, after half-time, there's another penalty shout. And this time it's a clumsy challenge. It should be a penalty. The referee doesn't give it. VAR steps in and gives it. But again, that length of time is too long. It's too long. 3 VAR checks in the game, and we lose about 10 minutes worth of play. That's not including treatment for injuries, because there's a couple of head injuries, and one of the Danish players in the second half takes a ball point blank to the face and is clearly concussed, not Sparko. And should the referee have blown up for the head injury, which would have stopped the second goal for Germany, ironically? again, if it's a head injury, yes, the referee should blow up, but Germany benefit from the fact the referee doesn't blow and stop play because of the head injury, and Germany score their second goal. But VAR penalty check, it's given. It took about 4 or 5 minutes. Nusken scores the penalty, and she's the reason why the goal's disallowed because she's offside. And then Sheila scores the winning goal in 66 minutes. So 56 minutes, Germany equalise. 66 minutes, Germany take the lead. And then they looked the better side after that, and I think the stuffing was knocked out of Denmark a little bit. And I think Denmark know they're going home because while Poland put in a good showing against Germany in their first ever tournament game, Sweden, I think, will have too much for Poland. With the way they played against Denmark, I think the Danes are resigned to the fact that they blew a golden opportunity to beat a misfiring German side. Even though Germany have won both games, they haven't been convincing. They've been exposed defensively. But now I want to talk about VAR, because if these lengthy checks took place in the men's Euros or World Cup, my God, the internet would melt down. Fans will be losing, losing it, and I think there'll be a lot more press coverage on VAR isn't working as intended. It's getting decisions right, but the length of time is just too long. Another thing I want to raise is the delayed offside flag going up. We did see, I think it was in the second half, or the first half, a delayed offside where Denmark, have the ball for a good 30, 40 seconds after the flag should have been raised. Then they raised the flag. There's the opportunity there for potential, should I say, for a German or Danish player to fly into a tackle, someone get injured, keeper rush out and clear a player and ball out in one, and someone gets hurt. There is that potential to happen. And I don't like this delayed offside directive that the linos have been given, the lineswomen in this case, or linesmen, have been given from FIFA and then UEFA and then the various domestic FAs. They've been told to wait before putting their flag up, which means we can have a phase or two of play, keeper charges out, or a defender comes across, or there's a loose ball, two players go for a 50-50, and we have that injury that's completely avoidable. The VAR taking too long. As I say, if this was a men's tournament, we'll be blowing up. The internet would blow up, social media would blow up, fans in the stadium, fans watching at home, the press would go mad. It's the women's tournament. There are less eyes on it. Now, yes, there's a lot of people watching this tournament, I have no doubt. The attendance has broken a record for a group stage match not involving a host nation. Over 34,500 in the stadium this evening. So fans are obviously interested. They've sold out every game. All available tickets have been sold pretty much for this tournament. The attendance has been really, really good. Much like the last tournament in England, which we obviously hosted a couple of years ago. The attendance has been really, really good. Ironically better than the FIFA Club World Cup, but that's another thing. But if these VAR length of delay to game was to, as I say, take place in the men's game, I said this about the rule variations that they experimented in 2019. They brought in some rule experimentations in 2019 in the Women's World Cup. Had they done that at the men's, fans would be blowing up. They did it at the women's, and I felt that was wrong to do it as well. Treating the women's game as a test bed. Treat both games equally in regards to the rules, and then we don't have this debate about, I don't know. But I think the VAR checks are taking too long at this tournament, which is causing games like this to become a bit stop-start. And it disrupts the momentum. And that is something that we want to avoid. We want to have good momentum, good tempo, flowing games. And when you lose about 10, 12 minutes of play because of VAR checks, I think it was about 4 minutes per VAR check on average in this game, that completely disrupts the flow. It leads to a lot of added time at the end of halves. And that is avoidable. It is avoidable. But there we go. Anyway, another thing, we've seen our first goal from a penalty at this World Cup, this Euros, should I say. Still waiting for one from a direct free kick, mind. But there we go. Thank you very much for watching. Place your thoughts on the game below. I think Denmark are going home. They played really well in this game in periods, especially in the first half. They lost their way in the second half, and Germany somehow bumbled their way through. I think Germany need to play a lot better if they're to try and compete for the title. There are some other sides playing a lot better than they are. But there we go. Thank you very much for watching. Place your thoughts in the comments section below, and I'll have some more content for you all very, very soon.